Hey everyone, we are on a 32-day camping adventure, traveling from Ontario all the way to Newfoundland. Join us as we experience the raw beauty of nature, camping, hiking, and backpacking through some of the most awe-inspiring locations.
So we just pulled up to Berry Head Pond. It's a short 2-kilometer loop. We have some terrifyingly black clouds coming in off the ocean. The weather network says we're in for rain pretty much all day. We really wanted to hike Gros Morne, but we're going to try and bang out some of the smaller hikes. There's a bunch, there's 3 berry type hikes. Berry Hill, Berry Pond, Berry Pond Hill, I'm not sure. But this one's only 2K. We're going to see if we can do it before all this black cloud behind me gets to us.
Berry Head Pond, a 2-kilometer return. Follow the trail around Berry Head Pond and through forest and bogs. The patchwork of wetlands, ponds, and dense forest you'll see is typical of the park's coastal lowlands. This environment is a good place to look for songbirds and waterfowl.
If you can't tell from the enthusiasm, we are trying to get in as much as we can here today. It is already starting to rain on us. We've literally just started the trail, and this morning we woke up and the sun was shining, so we had a nice big egg breakfast, all excited to hike the 17 kilometers up to the top of Gros Morne, which is an 8 to 10 hour hike. And then we looked out over the ocean and checked the weather network, and it's calling for thunder showers and a ton more rain this afternoon. So we decided to hike as many of the smaller trails as we could today, even if we get rained on most of the way. So there's also an information center. We're hoping to go check that out as well. That's more of an indoor thing later when it's maybe really pouring on us. Just walking around the trail here, and right on the side is some more of the pitcher plants, which is Newfoundland Labrador's provincial flower.
This is lovely. First thing in the morning. I was just saying to Alex how I'm a little disappointed we didn't attempt the mountain trail today. And then we walk out to this lookout and it looks like the mountains are just getting pelted at the moment. So I think we made the wise choice. Slightly disappointed, but we'll get there tomorrow.
Yeah, as we look out here, you can barely see the mountains in the distance. They're just shrouded in like mist and rain from the clouds. And there's even darker clouds coming.
Approaching.
But they're interspaced with like light fluffy white clouds and then really dark clouds, so you get like
a ray of sunshine and then pelted with rain.
Yeah, so we're pretty damp at the moment. We're not soaking wet yet. It's been misting pretty much off and on us, but it's still absolutely gorgeous trail so far. I'd say 50% of the trail is boardwalk. Yeah. Nice wooden newish boardwalk, and then the rest is either a nice gravel pathway, and then 350 meters of this is actually an accessible trail. So it must be nice and wide. We're just about to come onto that portion right now.
Yeah, so yeah, lovely trail.
Whew. Well, that was a great little hike. Very easy going, I'd say.
Oh yeah, it was lovely.
There was lots of little wildflowers. We saw yellow, white, purple flowers.
Little orange berries and some blueberries. I wouldn't recommend eating them, but they're really pretty to look at.
Absolutely. And there was lots of benches along the way, kind of little scenic parts around the pond where you could see the mountains in the background or just looking out at the pond, which was really, really nice. And overall, it was just a very great, easy-going hike. Very flat, absolutely no incline to the trail whatsoever. So yeah, I'd highly recommend. Just makes me wish I had the canoe and a fishing rod.
We didn't see any signs of fish, but
I really don't know what kind of fish they have out here in Newfoundland. I know they're kind of known for their trout and their salmon fishing, but in these back inland little ponds and lakes, I really don't know what's in here. You know, if any have like bass or sunfish or perch or anything that we're kind of used to in Ontario, I don't know what they have out here. So if you do know, let us know in the comments, because, you know, it really makes me wish I had a fishing rod and a fishing license to be fishing here.
all right, on to the next hike. We are just about to climb up Berry Hill. It's supposed to be very steep, but it is only 1.5 kilometers long return. So we're gonna go up real quick.
We just finished the Berry Hill hike. Very gorgeous. Very similar to the previous hike that we just did, except a lot more incline and a lot more stairs to get up, but it brought you to some very scenic vistas with lots of benches and little spots to kind of check out the countryside. So you can see the ocean, you can see the mountains, and all of the coastal lowland areas. So we're really hopeful. We had our eyes out. We stopped and stared for quite a while, scouting for these moose that are supposed to be overpopulated in this area. But unfortunately, no luck on the moose front thus far, but we still have a ways to go. Just enjoying some Cliff Bars before we get on to the next hike. This one is Berry Hill Pond. Jess and I are now just doing the third trail of the day, another 2-kilometer loop around Berry Hill Pond. It's a very cool trail. There's some mossy little mounds and ridges that all these trees are growing out of. It gives it a very Lord of the Rings kind of feel. So far this trail has been very well marked. You can see the sign right here. But there is the odd side trail that branches off the main trail and that aren't marked. Some of them look like they go to some old tent pads. That one just goes to like what looks like a service road or something. So it could be easy to veer off the main trail and get down a wrong trail, but they generally don't go very far, and then you have to stop and turn around and get back to the main trail. Third trail complete.
Of the day.
Headed now to the Gros Morne Information Center. Not exactly sure what's there, so we're gonna go check it out and then headed back to our campsite for some lunch.
On Channel 6 News, there's a slight chance of a storm rolling into Newfoundland today. Welcome to the windy shores of Newfoundland.
Ooh, spooky. Well, the park staff that we spoke to at the Discovery Center was right. I believe this is what you call Tucker Moor. Tucker Moor? Tucker Moor?
Yeah, Tucker Moor.
Not exactly sure if that means a group of trees that's just kind of been stunted by the wind and stuff, or if it's one specific type of tree, whatever this type of tree is. But it always looks like so mangled and windswept. It's very unique. And along the coastal trail here, you can actually duck into it, and yeah, we're almost completely covered up above.
Wow, look at that one. It is literally growing on a 45.
Three kilometers complete on the coastal trail. Now we get to turn right back around and head the exact same way that we came.
At least this time, the sunset we'll be looking towards.
Or what there is of a sunset tonight. It's still pretty cloudy and rainy and stormy in that direction. It's very cloudy, and you can definitely tell it's raining over there. So feeling very grateful that it's only lightly misty here as we walk back. But we'll have the wind at our back, so we'll make it back in record time. Well, it's now become a little bit of a race against time. The sun is just setting here behind me on the horizon, and we still have well over a kilometer or two to go of this trail to get back to our campsite. So, mission to get going. It's so hard not to stop and watch. Oh, this is nice. What an action-packed day. We made it back to the tent just as it was getting too dark to see outside.
We inhaled some Doritos.
We started out the day hiking the 3 berry trails. They were all really, really nice, cute, short trails. After we hiked those 3 trails, we then moved on to the Lobster Cove Head lighthouse area and hiked around those trails and checked out the interpretive center inside the lighthouse, which was so neat. There was a ton of history there, and the park staff were super knowledgeable, so that was really cool, except it was starting to get extremely windy and misty by that point.
That's where the storm absolutely caught up with us.
And once the rain started, we moved into some indoor activities, such as checking out the visitor center and a bunch of small novelty shops around Rocky Harbor.
And I was just checking out my Fitbit, and we racked up 26,000 steps today. Pretty awesome.
Our feet are definitely feeling it, but the Doritos are definitely helping.
After we checked out the visitor center in town, we came back. We were hungry, so we enjoyed some mac and cheese back at the campsite, and then the rain started to hit our campsite and we headed into the comfort station, and we ended up spending a couple hours in there journaling and getting everything charged up.
And the comfort station, just to be specific, is not just washrooms and showers. It is actually this communal area with sinks and a wood stove and picnic tables and a bunch of charging stations. So we were able to charge up our Blue Yeti power station, which has been powering all of our devices, our phones and cameras over the last 9 days. So we were able to get that topped right back up, which is awesome. It's been so handy. That was just such a great decision to bring that along.
After we got topped up, I came back to the campsite and started to soak our dehydrated dinner. We had a delicious sweet potato peanut stew. It's one of our favorites from home, so that was super warm and filling on this kind of blistery, windy day. And we couldn't help but sneak in one more trail to round up to 5 trails for the day. So we did the coastal trail along the Green Point campground, and it was a 6-kilometer return trail. Absolutely awesome, very easy going through some tuckamore. It was just a really interesting trail. Highly recommend.
The best part of it, we got to see our first sunset in 9 days. We haven't had an official real sunset. It's always been too cloudy the whole time we've been here. So we got to witness our first sunset. So now we're just gonna finish enjoying some Doritos, get our teeth brushed, and then crawl into bed because we have an even bigger day planned for tomorrow. So far this trail has been very well marked. You can see the sign right here. They have these very mossy hills